You cannot teach a person to read well unless you, particularly if he has a fine intelligence to begin with, a native aptitude, unless you make him struggle with texts that are very difficult and over his head.
At a very young age?
Right.
Or you mean even
as he goes, that is, the person who is reading, however widely it is, has dealt with readily intelligible stuff that he doesn't have to struggle to master, struggle to understand. Is a person whose mind will not be pulled up to its full capacity. That's the only reason for the great books, really. Not only that, I mean, I shouldn't say that. The reason over and above that content is that it is a sharpening stone. It's something you have to sharpen your mind on.
Hi, homeschool moms. I know it is late in the season, but at Scale House School, we are hoping to hire a few more teachers and admit more students before we close our enrollment for the 2025 through 2026 year for our classical Christian tutorial for Latter-day Saints. We have two available programs. Lux is our art and great books program, and Arete is our living science program. And for teachers, here's a quick rundown of our teacher compensation. A framework of lesson plans are provided for you, and all of the teaching positions still available are open and go classes for the lower school. So that's the elementary ages. So if you're brand new to homeschooling or fairly new and you don't have a lot of experience teaching other people's children, we would love to give you some practice doing that, and we will have so much grace, and we will help you and guide you through that process. So please, as you watch this video, I pray you will be open to any promptings from the Spirit. So before you are hired as a teacher and or before you enroll your students, are we a good fit for your family? Is your student a good fit for our tutorial? For any curriculum to flourish, there must be a strong and cohesive culture to a school. We expect our students to follow a strict dress code policy, a uniform of sorts, and we also do not allow students to have phones on the premises. We expect our older students in the upper school to have healthy attention spans. If your student lacks the attention span to read old books, then your student probably is not a good fit. We do not adapt the culture and the curriculum in order to appeal to shorter attention spans. Our younger students in the lower school are trained in the habit of attention through single readings, narration, and short lessons. Our philosopher and friend Charlotte Mason said, "It is impossible to overstate the importance of the habit of attention. It is, to quote, words of weight within the reach of everyone, and should be made the primary object of all mental discipline. For whatever the natural gifts of the child, it is only so far as the habit of attention is cultivated in him that he is able to make use of them." So there's a wonderful pamphlet written by classical educator Joshua Gibbs. It's entitled, "So Your Parents Want to Send You to a Classical School." I encourage you to have your older students who are 12 and up read this pamphlet. Here he says, "I hope you're not offended, but the fact of the matter is that many teenagers have so completely ruined their attention spans on video games and social media, they find it difficult to pay attention to anything for more than a few minutes, especially things that aren't exciting. There are many schools out there which have noted just how short the average teenager's attention span is, and responded by changing their curriculum and their teaching methods to accommodate shorter attention spans. This school hasn't done that. This school doesn't change with the times. That's part of what it means that this is a classical school. It also means this isn't an easy school." So Gibbs goes on to say that acquiring a taste for old books, old music, and old art is hard because beautiful things are hard to love. As parents, it may seem difficult to believe that beautiful things are hard to love, but if we compare it to how easy it is to like cool things, it is easier to understand the difficulty. How cool things are exciting, funny, sexy, provocative, or clever. Cool things tend to not take a lot of effort to like. Our dear prophet has said, "The Lord loves effort." We should be seeking after things that take effort, things that take time. If I could sum up the gospel of Jesus Christ into one simple phrase, it would be learning how to love. It's why we are here, isn't it? We are here to learn how to love a neighbor, a friend, a spouse, a child, a student. We are here to learn how to love math and literature and science. We are here to learn how to love God more. Mr. Gibbs writes about learning how to love in his pamphlet. He says, earlier I said that classical Christian teachers believe that pursuing truth, goodness, and beauty is what keeps a person from flunking life. It might be better to say that learning to love truth, goodness, and beauty is what makes a person's life true, good, and beautiful. So, how do we learn how to love something or someone? We spend time with them. We try our best to understand them better. Exposure breeds taste. If your student is not willing to learn how to love physics or biology, if he or she is not willing to learn how to love Shakespeare or Plutarch or Boethius, then perhaps our tutorial is not a good fit for your family. First, let's say a few things about Arete. Our Arete classes are filling up, but we still need one more teacher for our investigators class, which is for grades 4 and 5. One of the best elements of Arete is the way siblings will most likely be in their own class, meaning they'll be separated into their own classes. Sometimes some of the greatest tension we experience as homeschoolers is when siblings have to always be learning together. If we can acquire more students, especially in the upper school, we will be able to maintain different classes for different grades instead of grouping too many age groups together. Our upper school uses a rigorous program called Nabari Science. You can learn more about it at Classical Academic Press. Two reasons we use this program. It is set up for your students to retain what they have learned, and it teaches them how to study. Arete will take place in Kaysville Monday afternoons, and the school will be providing all of the materials and supplies needed for experiments and activities. So Lux is our art and great books program. Lux is about honoring the dead, where we stand upon the shoulders of giants. Chesterton famously stated that tradition is the democracy of the dead. At Lux, we do not cut our heroes down to size. To acquire enough teachers and students for our Lux program, students from the 4th grade and up will be separated by sex. Even though the boy classes and the girl classes will be reading the same books and doing the same art projects, the catechism and the tone will be different for the girls and for the boys. The girl classes will celebrate and promote the divine feminine, and the boy classes will celebrate and promote the divine masculine. This is our way to fight the birth and marriage rate crises we face as a society. This is a way of healing the relationship between the sexes, for ultimately we believe that men and women were never designed to compete with one another in any capacity. We are to complement one another. Lux takes place in Centerville Monday mornings. Here's the lower school book list for Lux. You can see what our preschool, which is available only for teachers, preschool to 1st grade. You can see, now keep in mind, a lot of the discussions after the child, we do a single reading, and then after someone is called on to narrate, the teacher can ask a question. And a lot of these questions, especially in the younger years and even in the older years, are helping to develop good judgment for the students. Is what the character doing something worth imitating? Because we want to develop the judgment of our children. Excuse me. Okay, so let's look at the book list for the upper school at Lux. So the books are organized here by category to help you visualize how you may have to adapt a student's home studies if he or she takes a class. For example, since they will be reading the book of Job, you could swap it out with a different book of the Bible that maybe you had planned originally. As the upper school at Lux will be reading a little over 1,000 pages for the year, which is about 35 pages per week, along with weekly writing assignments. And the art curriculum for the upper school is called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, and we have an amazing art teacher who has a lot of experience with teenagers. Okay. Keep in mind we will also provide a study hall and office hours session most weeks at the Kaysville Library to help your upper school students with their homework, meaning you could drop them off. I will have my own students with me, and although teachers are not required to come to the study hall, I will encourage them to maybe pop in now and then if they're available. So it's not just me, but I will be there to help the upper school students with homework, and that comes at no extra cost. These programs are more than just the books. Our students will take part in robust philosophical discussions asking questions about the great ideas such as the effects of science on human life, the economic and social implications of technology, the relationship between science and religion, the influence of the arts on character and citizenship, and the role of the arts in the training of youth. Join us as we acquire new treasures of understanding while seeking to learn how to love our God, our world, and our fellow man even more. Thank you.